Can you feel it, Cancer? There's a quiet shift in the air today. Not loud, not dramatic, just a stillness. Like the moment right before a wave crashes. Something inside you has changed, not because someone told you to, but because your heart is finally tired of holding on. You've been carrying the weight of unanswered questions, wondering if they cared, if they'll come back, if it was your fault. But now, that constant ache, it's softening. Not because it stopped hurting, but because you no longer want to suffer for what's already gone. You're standing at the edge of a turning point. You're not the same Cancer from a few days ago. On the 15th of July, you were exhausted. On the 16th, you began to realize you didn't have to fix everything. By the 17th, you started letting go of the people who never stayed. And yesterday, you faced a truth that broke something open. But today, your soul exhales. It whispers, I'm ready to move on. This isn't about forgetting. This is about forgiving yourself for holding on too long. It's about reclaiming the pieces of you that were buried beneath someone else's silence. So in this reading, I invite you to sit with me gently, bravely, as we walk together through this turning point. You don't need to force anything. You don't need to prove anything. You just need to be honest with your own heart. And if you're here, right now, listening to this, then yes, you are ready. Let's begin this reading, Cancer. I've drawn 3 cards for you today, and when I turned them over, I couldn't help but take a deep breath. Because these cards, they don't lie. They're not here to sugarcoat anything. They're here to tell the story your soul already knows. The first card is the Tower. Look at it. Lightning tearing through the sky, breaking down walls you thought would stand forever. You didn't plan for this collapse. No one ever does. But the Tower only shows up when life knows you're ready to rebuild. Ready to live without the illusions that kept you small. Cancer, this was never punishment. This was liberation. Painful, yes, but necessary. The second card, the Moon. And this is your card. The card of mystery, intuition, and shadow. For so long, you've been walking through fog, unsure what's real and what's just fear whispering in your ear. The Moon reminds you, you've survived uncertainty before, and you will again. Your emotions aren't your weakness, they are your compass. Even when the path isn't clear, your soul knows the way. And finally, the third card, the Star. After the storm, the stars always return. Hope doesn't arrive when everything is perfect. Hope is born when you've been broken and still choose to believe in the light. This is that moment for you. The Star says, look up. There is guidance. There is renewal. And there is a future beyond this chapter. Cancer. These 3 cards together tell a powerful story. Destruction, darkness, and then hope. It's the cycle you've been moving through these past days. And today, you are stepping into the light of the Star. You're not just surviving anymore. You're healing. Take a deep breath with me. Let the energy of these cards sink in. The worst has already happened. The only thing left is to rise. Cancer, let's go deeper. Because every moment of heartbreak, confusion, or letting go holds a lesson that the soul is quietly trying to teach you. I've drawn 1 card to represent that hidden lesson, and it is the Hanged Man. This is not a card of action. It's a card of surrender, of seeing things from a completely new angle, even if it means pausing your entire life to get there. Cancer, you are someone who feels deeply. You give everything, your time, your loyalty, your love, sometimes before you even receive it. And this card is here to show you. You've been trying to fix things that weren't yours to heal. You've been holding space for people who never showed up fully for you. The Hanged Man is a sacred pause. It's life asking you to stop striving for closure where none exists. To stop chasing validation from people who don't know how to love the way you do. Instead, This card invites you to shift your perspective. What if the pain you're feeling now isn't a punishment, but a doorway? A doorway to deeper wisdom, a doorway to self-respect, a doorway to the version of you that no longer abandons yourself to keep others comfortable. This lesson, hidden beneath all the emotional chaos, is this: you are allowed to stop waiting. You are allowed to choose you. You are allowed to close the chapter, even if they never gave you the ending you hoped for. Take a breath with me. Let that truth land. Sometimes, the most profound healing doesn't come from getting answers, but from finally being brave enough to stop asking questions. And today, you're brave enough. Let's talk about love, Cancer. Because no matter how strong you appear on the outside, your heart has always been the softest part of you. And it's that same heart that's been through so much, waiting, wishing, wondering if they'll finally choose you the way you chose them. Today, 2 cards appeared when I asked about love: the 2 of Cups and the 5 of Pentacles. At first glance, they seem to tell 2 different stories, but together, they speak the truth you've been trying not to admit. The 2 of Cups is a card of soul connection, mutual love, vulnerability, the kind of bond that feels like home. You've longed for this. Maybe you even thought you had it. Maybe you still hope that person will return with a full heart. But right beside it, we have the 5 of Pentacles. This card holds the ache of being left outside, of giving love, but feeling unseen, of standing at someone's emotional doorstep, waiting to be let in, and the door never opens. So what does this mean, Cancer? It means your heart knows what it deserves. It craves real connection, not crumbs. But you've been accepting emotional silence, confusion, or mixed signals because you didn't want to let go of the hope. And today's message is simple but powerful. Real love won't make you guess. It won't leave you in the cold. It won't make you wonder if you're too much. It won't disappear just because you finally asked for more. So maybe the turning point isn't about saying goodbye to someone. Maybe it's about saying hello to yourself, the version of you who will no longer shrink to fit inside someone else's comfort zone. You are worthy of the love you give. Let that be the standard from now on. Now, Cancer, let's turn inward. This part of the reading is just for you, not for the collective, not for anyone else. Just you and your intuition. I want you to take a breath. Close your eyes for a few seconds. Relax your shoulders. Now, without thinking too much, choose a number. 1, 2, or 3. Let your inner voice speak first. Not the mind, the heart. Have you chosen? If you picked one, your message is the Hermit. Lately, you've been looking for answers everywhere, hoping that someone or something could explain why things unfolded the way they did. But the truth is, the wisdom you seek is already within you. You don't need another conversation. You need quiet. You need stillness. You need time away from the noise, so you can hear your own voice again. There's nothing outside of you that can heal what's already waiting to be heard within. If you picked 2, your message is the Ace of Cups. This is the energy of a new beginning, one that flows from the heart. But here's the thing, love can't flow into a heart that's still holding on to yesterday. The universe is whispering, love is not over for you, not even close. But this new chapter isn't about someone else. It's about the way you love yourself gently, consistently, fully. Let yourself be filled again. Let your own love come first. And if you picked 3, your message is the Devil. You already know what this is. The habit, the attachment, the connection you keep going back to. It doesn't feel right, not really. It's intense, yes. But so is the ache. This isn't love. This is a loop. And today, you're being asked to break free. You are not stuck. You are not bound. You just forgot that your freedom has always been a choice, and now you remember. Whatever number you chose, trust this. Your intuition didn't lead you here by accident. You knew what you needed to hear. You were brave enough to listen. And that, Cancer, is the beginning of change. Cancer, let's talk about what you need to let go. Not what you should let go. Not what other people told you to forget. But that one thing, still sitting in your chest like a stone. You feel it when the room gets quiet. You carry it in your silence. And sometimes, you even protect it because it's all you've known. But here's the truth. Not everything that once made you feel alive is meant to stay. Some people enter our lives not to stay forever, but to wake something up inside us, to teach us how deeply we can feel, how much we can care, and how strong we can become when they're gone. You don't have to hate them to move on. You don't have to turn cold to protect your heart. You simply have to be honest with yourself. Are you holding on? Because it still fits your future? Or because it once fit your past? There's a version of you waiting to be born. One who is lighter, freer, softer, no longer ruled by fear of abandonment or by the ache of old memories. Letting go doesn't always mean saying goodbye. Sometimes it means saying, I choose me now. So today, maybe you don't have to release it all at once. Maybe you just begin by loosening your grip, just enough to breathe again, just enough to remember, you are not defined by who walked away, but by how gently you return to yourself. You've carried this long enough, Cancer. It's okay to set it down now. Cancer, now that you've made space by letting go, let's talk about what's coming. There is a soft, quiet shift happening in your life. Not loud, not dramatic, but steady, like the first light before sunrise. You may not see the full picture yet, but something inside you has already started to change. You're beginning to choose differently, not from fear, but from wisdom. You're starting to trust again, not in them, but in you. What's coming is a chapter where your heart doesn't have to beg to be understood. A space where your softness is seen as strength, and where your sensitivity becomes your superpower, not your burden. A new connection may be forming, one that feels peaceful, not chaotic. You won't have to wonder where you stand. You won't feel like you have to shrink to be loved. And even if this new connection starts with yourself, that's still a sacred beginning. There's also healing in your relationship with time. No more rushing. No more chasing. What's for you will not pass you. And what's not for you cannot stay, no matter how much you want it to. So take a breath, Cancer. Life is not against you. It's simply guiding you back to the path you were always meant to walk. What's coming isn't just a person or a breakthrough. It's a version of you healed, whole, and no longer afraid of your own light. Can you feel it? It's already on its way. Dear Cancer, your soul has something to say, and today, it's finally time for you to listen. You've spent so much of your life protecting others, making sure no one feels left out, holding space for pain that wasn't even yours to carry. But who holds space for you? You've been the lighthouse for so many, but even lighthouses need to rest. Even the ocean needs a break from the storm. Even your heart, strong and tender as it is, deserves a place to fall apart safely. Your soul is asking you to stop running from your own depth, to stop silencing your truth just to keep the peace, to stop dimming your light so others feel more comfortable. You were not made to shrink. You were made to feel deeply, to care without apology, to love with your whole being, not halfway, not hesitantly, but with fire, faith, and trust. You are not too much. You are not too emotional. You are exactly as you were designed to be. And the more you accept this truth, the more you'll attract people who cherish it, not just tolerate it. So here's your soul's message. Come home, not to a place, not to a person, but to yourself. Everything you've been searching for, the peace, the love, the feeling of belonging, has always been waiting inside you. It's time to return. Cancer, if you've made it to the end of this message, please know this. You are not walking this path alone. Even in the moments when it feels like no one understands, even when your emotions seem too heavy for the world to carry, you are being seen, you are being guided, and most of all, you are being loved. There is something incredibly powerful about the way you choose to stay soft in a world that keeps asking you to harden. The way you continue to feel, to hope, to believe, even after heartbreak, disappointment, and silence. That is not weakness. That is your divine strength. So if today is a hard day, breathe. If your heart still aches for what was, place your hand over it and say, I am allowed to heal. I am allowed to begin again. And you are. Tomorrow does not have to look like yesterday. Your story is not stuck. The chapter you're in is not the ending, it's just a sacred pause before the turning of the page. So rest when you need, cry when you must. But never forget, you are still worthy of joy, still capable of love, and still destined for more than just survival. Cancer, your heart is a universe, and soon it will be mirrored back to you in the gentlest, most beautiful ways. Until then, keep choosing you. Keep trusting the slow magic that is unfolding. Even if you can't see it yet, you are enough. You are becoming. And you are exactly where you're meant to be.